Hello everyone, this is Maggie. Welcome to my channel. I'd like to introduce to you the tutorial on this beautiful piece that I've been working on, and I'm working on with these colors, which is exactly like this. It's going to have two parts because the video is too long and I have no choice but to separate in two parts. The second part, it's where we're going to be adding the flowers on. And as you can see, I've been working on the tutorial for it. So this is already going to be on the first part and I'm almost done. And just to give you a glimpse that I have many others on the same thing that I've been working on, which is the same project, just that these ones I didn't put flowers in them yet, but it's the same thing as this one here and many other ones that I have. Anyway, so this is all size 4, thread size 4, color 38. Juanina Ladybug is the brand, 100% cotton, and they're all the same thing, size 4. Needle size 3. You will need the scissors and also a hot glue gun to glue your flowers at the end, and then you're gonna stitch them in. So we are going to start doing the part 1. I'd like to thank every single one of you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. I hope you keep enjoying my work. For the newcomers, thank you for stopping in. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. It helps us grow the channel. I can thank you guys enough. I really, really appreciate, and I'm sure many other YouTubers also appreciate when they get subscribed because it helps them grow. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It's a beautiful piece and very simple to make it, not hard at all, and very fast. So you can use whatever colors you want or one color only and not add flowers if you don't want. I'm going to add them because I just love to put that little spark in my patterns. So once again, thank you so much, everyone. And please keep following and be part of the family. Okay, so let's get started. And we are going to start with video 1, part 1 of this. Like I said, I've been working on it already. So part 1 is done. And I am going to finish up with part 2, and it will be done very soon. So thank you so much, everyone. Okay, everybody. So we're going to get started. We are going to do 148 stitch. So we're going to lock in 1. We're not going to count this one. And now we do 148. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on until 148 stitch. Okay, now that we've done 148 stitch, we got a big long chain. We're going to go back 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And inside of this fourth one, we're going to do 5 stitches in the same place. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we follow next one, a stitch for each loop until the end. Don't miss any loops because it's very tricky to miss it. So grab your first loop up top. Let's get closer so you don't miss any. And you have to do a stitch per each one. We're going to go all the way around. When it gets to the other side, we have to do 5 stitch again on the last one in the same place. So it's going to be like this, 5 in the same place. Once we get to the end here on your last stitch, okay, your last stitch here, we have to do 5 inside, just like here. Okay, so we've reached the end, and now in the same one, we're going to do 5 more inside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to go back and do stitch over stitch, not the 5 we did, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you go into the first one, or I should say the last one of the row we did. So we're going to do stitch by stitch over every single one of them until the end. Okay, so at the edge we have 5. Just get your close up. So we have 5 in here, and we have 5 at the other end. So we're going to do stitch over stitch until the first one here. Okay, so now we have reached the last one. We're going to tie it in the third place up here. Of course, my stitches are always very tight, so I always have a very hard time getting in. Okay, the ones that we did 5 stitch, we have to do 2 per each on the same place. So you go up 3, again on the same place, you do 2. Next space, you go again, and we're going to grab the back loop only. Gotta make sure I don't forget to tell you. And then the next one, only the back loop. 2 again on the same place. So it's going to be a total of 10 on those 5 that we did. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more inside the same place, 10. So now we have the, let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I overdid one. Okay. So we have 10 on there. And then the rest of the other ones is 1 per each all the way around. Well, except on this side, we have to do 2 per each on the 5 ones here. Okay, we'll get to that. And then the rest of the other ones is 1 per one, grabbing only the back loop, not the front. Okay, just the back loop. 1 per each on each one of them. Because what we want to do is we want to leave this little nerve sticking out so it can give it a nice nice effect. Okay, so I'll meet you at the other end. Okay, so we've reached where the 5 that we added on the same place are. So we're going to add 2 inside of each one. So we're going to have a total of 10, 2 per each loop. Next one, 2, next one, 2, and then we're gonna do the singles all the way to the end and lock it in. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, same place, 10. So now 1 per each until the end. And we're going to lock it on the same place on the third space on your last stitch. So we're going to lock it in over here. Okay, everybody, so we've locked in. I've cut the yarn, or the thread, I should say. And now where we have the two, we've locked in, so we have the two together. We're going to go right on top of it on the outside loop, and we're going to create 2 stitches, one next to the other, right over on top of the other ones, and then 1 separation. Trying to hide this yarn here. 1, 2, and 3. Go right next to it on the outside loop again, because everything is worked on the outside loop. 2, 1 separation, go to the next one, and again another one beside it. So it's going to be groups of 2, 1 separation, next, another one. We're going to have a total of 14, 1 separation on the corner here. One separation, and again 1 next to it, 2. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1 separation, one more. We'll make it 12. When we're going to come around, we're going to do 2 over here, so we'll be the 14. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 with 1 separation in the corner. And then let me just see if there's any separation here. Actually, yeah. And then we're going to do 1, 2 separation. We're going to skip 1. We're going to the back loop. Like that. 1 separation, 2 separation again, sorry. And now we're going to do 1 separation again, and we're going to do 4 stitches, one next to the other, grabbing only the back loop. Like that. 1, 2 separation. Now we're going to skip 2. 1, 2 into the next one. And we're going to do 4 more, grabbing the back loops only. Kind of hard to work with 2 yarns. I have no more of size 4 on the white, so I'm working with 2 number 6s to be the same thickness. Make my life easy. So it's going to be like that. Okay, so after the 2, we did 1 separation, skip 1, do 1 stitch, 1 separation, skip another one, do 4 stitch, 2 separation, or actually I think 2 separation, sorry, 2 between, and we're going to skip 2 again. So 1, 2, 1, 2, go on the next one. Now we're going to do 20 stitches, and remember, everything we're doing on this side we have to do on the 4 corners, on the 4 sides. That means whatever you're doing up here you have to do on the other side, and then on the reverse side, and then here. So 20 stitches. So now we've done our 20 stitch. We're going to give 2 separation again. We're going to skip 2, 1, 2, the next one, we're going to do 35 stitches. Okay, 35. We did our 35. 2 more separation, skip 2, 1, 2, and then 20 more. So now we're going to repeat what we did here. So we have 20, and then we're going to do these and then these. So 20 more. Okay, so we did our 35 stitches. Okay, now we're going to do 2 separation, and we're going to skip 2 and do 35 more. Okay, so we started with the 2 on the corners. We did 1 separation, we did 1 separation, we did 4, 2 separation, 2 spaces, we did 4, 2 separation, and 2 space, we did 20, 2 separation, 2 space, we did 35, and now 2 separation, 2 space, and we're going to do 35 again, and we're going to repeat again the 20 and so on. Okay, so we did our 35 here. We did 2 stitch, skip 2, and we did 35 again. We're going to do 2 stitch. We're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and we're going to do our 20, grabbing the back loop only. Always the back loop. 20 again. So we're going to repeat what we just did at the beginning over here, and then we're going to go into the 4s and then so on. So we did our 20. 1, 2 separation, 1, 2 separation. We're going to do our 4. So we're going to repeat what we did at the beginning, and it's going to be the same way on the other side. I'm not going to do the recording on both sides because it's the same thing. 1, 2 separation, and 1, 2 separate, 1, 2 separate, and we're going to do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2 separation. I'm going to skip 1 only, and we're going to do 1. Okay, so we have that 1. I missed out a stitch. I'm not going to take it all down. Very easy to fix. So we're going to do 1 separation here, so it doesn't become too obvious. And we're going to do 2 inside of here, right next to it. Okay, so if it happens that you missed out your stitch because I made my mistake, so 1 separation, then just don't skip any and just do your separation stitch and then just do the 2 inside. Okay, so again, 2 inside. So we have the 4, 2 separation. Instead of doing the 2 separation here, I did only 1 because I missed a stitch somewhere here, and that sometimes it happened. Well, you have to do only 1 anyway because that's what we did here, 1 separation. Okay, so 1 separation so it doesn't look too lumpy with 2. Do your 2, and these 2 are just before the bottom 2, so it can total the 14. Okay, so 2, 1 separation, then right on top of the 2 underneath, it's going to be the 2, and then 1 separation, and then again we're going to do 2, 1 on top of the other, as you can see here. If I need to get you closer, I'll get you closer. So I'm going to repeat again. Don't skip any because I skipped a stitch, so you're probably going to skip a stitch. I hope not, but if you do, just don't skip it. It doesn't matter because you can't really see because of the darkness of the bottom one. It's all going to fall into place up top. So you do 2 before the 2 stitch together. You see the 2 stitch together over here? Right here, you have the 2 stitch, and here was only 1. Well, you need to do 2 before it, and you need to do the other 2 on top. And we're going to have the total of 14. So it's by groups of 2s again. So 1 stitch separation, and again, 1. Me and my 2 threads here, it's horrible, but I have no choice. Grab the back loop only. And we're going to do the 2 1 stitch separation, and right on top of the other ones where the 2 on the bottoms are, that's where you're going to do your 2s 1 stitch separation. And again, we're supposed to have groups, supposed to have a total of 14 around the corner. Okay, so what am I doing here? Hold on. Hope I'm not giving a, yeah, I was giving a stitch separation. Okay, no stitch separation. What am I doing? I've done so many of these that I'm completely lost already. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1 separation. That's right. I was right. And then here, 2 on top, and then 1 stitch separation, and then 2 on top of the other ones. This is very fast to make and very easy to make, and it's a beautiful pattern. So this was the last 2, right? So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and this is where I went wrong. Okay, no, I was right. Goodness Lord. Don't mind me, I'm just exhausted. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And on the last 2, which it has to be right after the 2 underneath, okay? So it's going to give the total of the 14, like that, okay? Now, 1 separation and go right to the next one, because this is probably where we missed out the stitch. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing now here. So here we have 1 separation, okay. And we're going to do 1 separation, and now we're going to do our 4 groups. So 1 separation there, and they have to line up together. So you're going to do your 4, it's going to line up to the 4 down here. And now it's easy. Everything else is repeatedly the same way as we just finished doing on this side. So you're going to do the groups of 4. As you see, they lined up, okay? So then you're going to do 1 separation only, and you do the next 4. And then the 1 separation, and you do your 20. And then your 2 separation and 2 stitch, and you do your 35. And then 2 separation and 2 skip 2 stitch, and then your 35. All you have to do is just look on this side and repeat on here. Okay, so we're reaching the end. It falls perfect because we started, we fixed the missing stitch that we had, right? So now we're going to do the 2 before the last 2. Okay, so 1 next to the other, 1 separation, and we lock it in on the 3rd place. Like this, we'll have our 14. Yeah, 2, 4, oops, almost knocked on my camera. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So we have 14. Now, I have to look into my pattern here because it's been a little while since I've done it. Okay. So now we're gonna go up 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna add one more to the same place, and we're gonna do one more also, grabbing the loops in the back. So we're gonna have a total of 3. 1, 2 separation. Again, we are going to do right on top of the other one, add one more, so we're gonna have 3. Now it's gonna be groups of 3s. Okay, don't forget when you get to the end, here, because we have this group, we also have to add the 3. Okay, 1, 2 separation. We're going to the next one, and we're gonna add one more into the same one, and then right after. Okay, so we're gonna keep adding all of the ones up here, and then I'll get to that. Okay, so this is the last group. Okay, we're gonna do 1 separation, and right on top of your 1 here, we are gonna go in, and we're gonna create 4 of them. Okay, so go inside of your loops there, like that, 3, and on top of the other one here where the 4 groups are. So we're going to create 4. 2 separation, and back into this one here, on top of the bottom one there, grabbing back loop, we're going to create 4 more. So now we're going to be doing groups of 4s. Back inside of the little loop there, and inside of the last one here. So we have this 4 group, and we need to do one more. 1, 2, go into the corner, the top one here, top of the other one on the bottom, inside of the loops. Oops, this is very difficult to work with 2 yarns, but I have no choice until they get some yarn thread in this island. I'm telling you, beautiful island, but hard to get the stuff because of this pandemic. Anyway, so now we have 3. We're gonna do 1, 2. We're gonna skip 1, and we go into the next one, like that. Just want to look at my thing here. So now we're going to do 15 stitches. So we skipped 1, we go to the next one, and now we're going to do 15 stitches. Okay, so do your 15, and remember, everything you're doing on this side, you will be doing on this side. So this is the only side I'm going to be recording because it's repeat. It takes too much room on my cell phone. Okay, so now that we've done our 15 stitch, because we are following this one, right? The one that you saw in the picture. Okay, so now we've done these ones. Now we're doing the other little, it's kind of hard because my table is very small. So now we're doing these ones here. Okay, so now we've done the 15. Now we're going to do 2 stitch separation, 1, 2. We're going to go right inside of the center here, and we're going to do 3 stitch separation. Okay, three stitches, sorry. My head must be overheated. Okay, so 1, 2 again. We're going to skip 1, 2, and we're going to go on the third one. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 1, 2 on the third one. And we're going to do stitch over stitch. I'm just going to count how many I have there to make sure. So we're going to do 31 stitches, okay? 31 stitches in here, and then 2 separation. Okay, so we did our 31. 1, 2 separation. We're going to repeat again. 3 inside of the space, and we're going to do 31 stitches again. Okay, so it's going to be repeatedly. Whatever we start here, we're going to do the same here and the same on this side. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2 on your third one. Now we're going to do 31 stitch again. Okay. "31 stitches." Okay, so we've done our 31. Now we're going to repeat what's here. Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2. We're going to do 3 inside of here. 1, 3. Okay, and now we're going to do 1, 2 separation. We are going to do our 15. So we're going to 1, 2 on your third one. We're going to do our 15 stitches. Okay, so we did the 3, 2 separation, 1, 2 on your third one. We're going to do 15 stitches. I have to be more focused on this camera because I keep forgetting about the camera. I get so focused on the stitch, concentration on the stitch all the time, that I don't realize sometimes that I'm off camera, and that's terrible. I don't like that. Sorry guys, you know, I have to get used to it still. And it doesn't help when you're filming out of a cellular either. I mean, if I had like a regular camera to film, that would have been much easier. But I'm not at that stage yet to get a nice camera to film. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get a nice camera and take it from there. Anyway, so let me count my stitch. 15. So 15 on the nose. Wow, I was yapping away and I got 15 straight on the nose. Perfect. Okay, so we did the 15. Now we're going to do 1, 2 separation, and we're going to do the 4 stitches. So we're going to grab the corner right up top here, and we're going to go inside of the loops on these ones. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, and on top of the other one, and 4. Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2 separation again, and we're going to do the other 4. So we go on top of this one. It's probably going to take 2 videos. I have to go inside the loops because it's going to be too long, one video. So it's going to be probably part 1 and then part 2. That's why I'm trying to make it as short as I can, but I mean, there's only so much I can shorten it up, right? So I do have to show you the stitches and how it's pinned up. So again, 1, 2, and then again on top of the other one. You see? So we're supposed to have like 3 groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, and then on top of our single stitch in the bottom here. So there. Now 1, 2 separation, and we're going to start doing the 3 groups. Okay, so we're going to add, because we're right in the corner, we're going to add 1 more in here, and it's going to be 2. So this is going to keep going up. 1, 2, and next group we're going to add again on the same place, so we can have groups of 3, 2, and 3. So you see how it is. It's the same thing. Let me pull it. So what we're doing the corner here, so we're adding, we did 2, now we're doing 3, and then it's going to be 4, and then 5, and then 6. So we keep adding them so they can widen up, as you can see here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to cut down. Okay, so we go up this way, and then we're going to cut down this way. Okay, so that's what we're doing now. So we're going to add, so let's add our groups of 3s, as you see here. Okay, see? And then we'll get to that part. Okay, so we did our groups. Now, you're supposed to have, of these groups, you're supposed to have 7 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you gotta make sure you got 7 all the way from the start when you started the 2 of them in the bottom here. Actually, no, when you started this one, because you had to add, remember, you had to add 2 at the beginning. So it's 7 groups, okay, and they have to match up one side to the other. Here's our single stitch, and we have our single stitch that we had to put one next to the other also. So now we're going to repeat the groups of 4, okay? So 2 separate, yeah. So we have 2 there, 1 separation we did here, 1 separation. Okay, so 1 separation, and we go on top of our single stitch here, and inside of the loop 2. So we're going to repeat, and then 3. We're going to repeat on this side what we did on the other side. That's why I tell you there's no point of me putting the video so long when it's the same stitch. All you have to do is just look what you did on the other side, or go back to the video and rewind and take it from there. 1, 2 separation, and on top of the other one. Okay, so now we're going to do exact same thing as we did on that side to this side. So 1, 2, and my stitch is so tight, and I'm working with 2 threads. It's not not easy. Okay, so let's continue to do our groups of 4, because you can see we have them here. So now we have to do, and then 15 stitch, and then so on, and 31 stitch, and then another 31, then another 15. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. So we've reached the end, we've locked in. As you can see, we have always that one group that we will do, we'll finish it when we get around to it. Now we're gonna, like I said earlier, we're gonna keep adding. Now we're on 3, we're gonna add, now we're gonna do 4. So we're gonna add 1 more on this row. And another trick for you when you're doing this side, when you want to, when you're getting around, you want to do this side. What I do is I set this on top of my lap, and I follow. Instead of turning around and looking into here, you know, grabbing the pattern and twisting and looking, I lay it out like that, and I see what I've done already on this side, right? What I've done on this side. So I basically, now we're going to do this. So once we do this, and then I'll just turn my pattern like that, and I'll see what I've done. So I follow, and you can't make a mistake that way, okay? It's the easiest, trickiest way to do it. Okay, so we've locked in. We go 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go to the next one, and we're gonna add one inside of the same one, so we can have a group of 4 now, okay? Because we're widening up the corner. So, and then the next one is 1. So we have our 4, 2 separation, and again the same thing. So we're going to do this to all 7 groups. Well, now 6, but it's going to be 7 once you become, you have to do it to this group here too. So one more inside. So you know that's always total of 7 groups has to be the same. So we're going to, in here, so we have 4. Okay, 2 separation and continue on. Okay, so we have our 4. I'll just bring it out a bit. So we have our group of 4 that we did. Now we're only going to do 1. So we're going to do 1 separation. We're going to go right on top of our group, which is this one here. We're going to do only 1. And then 1, 2. And we're going to go to the corner, to the edge one here, and do 4 inside of the loop, inside of the loop, 3, and on top of the other stitch here of the group. So we have 4. Okay, now we're extending these groups, right? So again, 1, 2, go on top of the other one, inside of the loop, and inside again. So basically these groups also, we are extending them. So what happens is we have 3. First we started with 2 groups, then 3, and then we go down 2, and then 3, and then 2, and then 3, and then 2, and then 3, and then 2, and this is how it's going to keep going. So we have 3 groups, and now we are going 2 groups only, right? 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, so now we have 2, which is these 2 here, and now 1, 2. We go to our corner one here, and make sure that I'm in, and we're going to do 1, 2, on top in the corner, 3, and so on. And we continue on top of the other ones. Okay, I'm going to count how many there are so you know how many stitches to give. So we have 16 stitches, okay? 2 groups only of 4, 2 stitch, go right on top, 2 more inside of the loops, right on top, total of 16. 1, 2 separation. We go directly inside. We're going to make those groups of 3. 1, 2, 3. If I can get my 2 threads through. 1, 2, inside the next one, and groups of 3 again. So we started with 1, now we're at 2. Now we're gonna skip 2. We're gonna do 2 stitch separation. 1, 2. We're going to our third one, and we continue on. I'm gonna count how many as I'm going, and I'm gonna let you know how many are in here. Okay, so there's 27 stitches. Okay, two groups of 4, 27 stitches until you're 1, 2 on your third one. So 1, 2 again, and we're going to go into the middle and we're going to create our 2 groups of 2s. So it's going to be our 2 groups of 3, sorry. It's going to be repeatedly the same thing, 2 separation, and again our group of 3, and then 2 separation, 1, 2. We go into our third one, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do our 16 stitch. So pretty much what we're doing is we're repeating what we did here. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, and I had made a mistake. I said 16. It's not 16. It's the 27 because we have the two sides of the 27, and then it's the 16. This is the middle part, right? Okay, so let's go through it again. We have the 2 groups of 4, 2 separation. We did 16 stitch, 2 separation, 2 groups of 3 with 2 separation. On our third one, we started our stitch. So that's 16, 17, oh, sorry, 27 stitches, because the first one was 16. 27 stitch, then we did our 2 groups again, okay, and then 27, and now we're going to do the 16 stitch that's on top of this one here. Okay, so again, 1, 2, our two groups of 3, 1, 2 separation, okay, 1, 2 separate, 1, 2, 3. Now we do our 16 stitches. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. So we're still continue on. Remember, we have to do the same thing on this side as we did here. So we have our 2 groups. We go on the third one. We continue on. Then we go inside of the loop, inside of the other loop, and here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 1, 2. Now we got to do our 4 groups. So we go on our first one here, inside of the loop, again, and on top of the other stitch. So we have 1 group there. So we'll see what I'm saying. You stretch it out and you see where you're at, right? So we've done this one. What we're doing here. So now we're here. 1, 2. Go on top of the other loop, the other stitch, inside, inside, and on top of the other stitch. So now we have our 4. That means we did this one here now. Now we're going to do 2. We're going to do only 1. 1, oops. One, 2. We're going to do only 1. 1, 2. And now we're going to add our groups of 4 on the 7 groups. So we're going to add inside one more. So it's going to be repeatedly what you do on one side. 1, 2. You have to do it on the other side. And you continue on all the way around the same way. So you lay out your pattern when you're coming down this way, and you see what you have to do. Okay, I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so we've done our groups 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've done our 7. Don't forget we have to do one more on the other side because it's always behind. And now we're going to repeat the same thing. So 1 separation, we're going to do 1 in here, just like here. 1, 2, and we go on top. And we're going to repeat this whole row, the same thing what we did on the other side. So you just have to look at the other side and repeat it all over again. So it's not complicated. It just has to, you have to pay attention, you know. It's like anything we do. We have to pay attention, right? No matter which pattern is easy. If you don't pay attention, you're going to make a mistake on it. This is a very simple pattern, and it's gorgeous. I've done many, many of them. I can't even count how many I've done. It's been a while, though. Except lately I had to work on them to, so there's some orders. So I have, as you saw on the picture. And then I have, you know, I have in this color, as you can see. Also, put it the right way. Gorgeous. So I just have some flowers that I need to add, but I'll do the flowers at the end once I'm done this other one. And so yeah, this is another gorgeous piece, as you can see, and they're very big. They can go for 6 to 8 cedar, and I have way much more that I'll show you sometime, because a lot of times when I do these patterns, I always make extra one for sample. Sometimes people, you know, they want to look at it and they order it. So I always have to keep 1 or 2 different color. Okay, so now we're here before we get lost. So we did the 2. We are here. So now we need to do all 16 of them, okay? So yes, I keep 1 or 2 patterns for samples because people order them. They like to look at it and choose. And sometimes they want that color, or sometimes they want to change colors like this one. This one, the lady wanted this color. So it's going to take, because she loved the last table run that I did with these colors, you remember, just the last, very last one. So she wanted those colors on this, and that's what's happening. I'm doing the colors that were on the last pattern on this one. So she's going to be very happy with it, because I've added, you know, the multicolored that's going to grab all the other colors together. Anyway, so copy this side and do exactly the same thing as you did here. Just do the same thing here. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everybody, so we finished pretty much this side. We did the single one here, like we have it here. So now we got to do the 4 on this group, remember? So we do 1, we go inside the next one, we do 2 inside of the same one. So we can have 4. And then the next one. So now we have 4, 1, 2, and we lock it in on the third one here. So now we have our 7 groups. Okay, so now we are going to go into the 5 stitches, as you can see. So 1, 2, 3. Inside of this one, we do 2. Next one, we're going to repeat the groups the same way by adding 1 as the previous row. So we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 separation, continue the rest. Okay, so now that we did the 5, we're going to do 1 separation, which I already did. We're going to go into the next one here. We're going to go inside, we're going to create 4. And inside again. And on top of the other one from the group. Like that. Okay, now 1, 2 on top of the next one, the corner, and inside we're going to create 4 again. Inside and on top of the other stitch. So now we have 2. Let me just check here. 2. So now we need to do 3. That's right, because we did 2, 3, 2, and now 3. 1, 2, into the next one, inside, inside, and on top of the other one. So now we have 3. So now we have 3 here. Now 1, 2, we go on our third one. 1, 2, and 3. And we do our stitches. And I will count to let you know how many stitch we're going to do through here. Okay, so we have 12 stitches. So now we're going to do 2, and we're going to come, let me just turn this camera a bit. And we're going to come inside of the space and create our 3. So we're doing little groups again here because we are expanding. We're expanding them. Okay. So 1, 2, and now 3. 1, 2. Next one. Okay. Now we have 1, 2, and 3. So now 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. And then you continue on. And I'll let you know how many stitches. So we have 23 stitches. Okay. Now we're going to do 1, 2. Gonna make groups again of 3. 2s, 2s, because I grabbed only 1. That's what happens when you're working with 2. And get a little bit closer. 1, 2. Next. Sorry, did wrong. It's supposed to be groups of 3, not 4. What am I doing? Groups of 3 again. 1, 2, into the next one, and again 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, and then again stitch over stitch. So we did again our big stitch, which is finished. So we're going to make 2. We're going to do our group again. So same thing like we did at the beginning. We're just repeating it again here at the end. 1, 1, 2, and again. That. Just want to make sure. So I want to make sure what I'm doing. We gotta do the same thing here. So we're on the last one. So we're gonna have to skip 2. 1, 2. Go into your third one. And we continue on. So we did our 12, which is at the edge, right? 1, 2, we go in the beginning. We're going to make our groups of 4 again. 1, inside, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, into the next one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and again inside. And again, and on top of our single one. And now we're getting into the groups. 1 separation, and we're going to add. So 1 here and 2 inside of the same place. Gonna be groups of 5. We're at the corner where our 7 groups are. Okay, so we're gonna add 2 separation, and we're gonna do our 7 groups. 2 separation, add 2 on the same place, that's gonna equal 5. 2 separation, add 2 on the same place. So now we did our 7 group with the 5 stitch. Now we're repeating. Let me just lower this. We are repeating now this side, which will be exactly the same here. So we got to repeat the same thing as we did here all the way through on this side. I'll meet you at the end. Don't forget, guys, I just wanted to show you, since we are doing the 3, right? You have to do 2 stitch, and you go 1, 2 on your third one. Okay, so that means automatically you only have 1 jumped. Because I'm sure some of you are going to get confused. Oh, but where do I go to? Even though we did on the other side. If you look on the other side, that's exactly how we have it. Okay, so make sure that you get it right. So continue your stitch. So we have to land the 4th one here, skip 1, and then go. Okay, everybody, so we finished doing the 5 stitch. Now we're going to go into the 6th, 1, 2, and 3, into the, back loop. Next one, we're going to add 2 in here. So we can have total of 6. And we're going to do that to all 7 groups. So we have 2, 4, 6. 2 separation. And we go into the first one here. And this one's going to be alone. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to do the 6 on all 7 groups. So I add 1 more in here. Okay. So we finished doing the 6 on the groups, except for this one. We're going to have to do it when we get to it. So we do 1 separation. We go here and we leave it as a single one, just like the one here. 1, 2. We go into the last one here. And then we're going to go inside and we're going to create the 4 stitches. That. And then 2. And to the next one. Of course, it doesn't have my 2 threads. It's hard to work with. And then again. So now because we have 3 here, right? 1, 2, 3. We're going to have 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to start filling. 1, 2 separation, and we go in. We're going to continue on the stitches, and I'll let you know how many stitches are here. So we have 12 stitches. Okay. One, two. We're going to the little squares. 3 stitches. 1, 2. Into the next square. 1, 2. Into the next square. 1, 2. And just want to make sure. So we're supposed to have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the next one. 1, 2. 1, 2 on the third one. And we continue on the stitch until the end here. 1, 2, and 3 until here. So we're going to do all of it until there. Okay, so now we've did all of these ones. There's 19 stitches. And then 1, 2, and we go back into the groups of 3. So do your groups of 3. You're supposed to have 4. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2 in the third place. And continue on your stitch. We're going to continue on the stitch until the third one. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do the groups of 4 again. So you have also 19 here, which is the same as here. 19. Then your groups of 4. Then 19. Now we're going to go into the first group we did here, right? So we're going to continue on doing our 4 groups. Okay. And we're going to continue on doing the groups. We're going to go on the third. 1, 2, 3. Do it until there. And I'll meet you there. So we did our 4 groups. We're doing now our last stitches here. We continue on. And okay. Whoop. And we're going to go into the 4 groups. For group stitch. You go inside. And then 1, 2, and we're going to leave our single one. So basically we're doing the same thing here as we did here. Okay. Now we continue the groups and just repeat what you did here. You have to do it on this side. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so we finished this one, everybody. So we're going to cut the yarn because I'm changing colors. I'm going to put a different color now. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to start where the 7 groups are. Remember we used to leave one out? Well, I had a chance to start on top of it since I've changed the color. And now we're going to cut down stitches. We're not going to go up stitches anymore. So instead of doing actually no, I have to go in one. Okay, so here we have 6, right? 2, 4, 6. We're gonna go on the next one. We're gonna do 5 only. If I can get my yarn through it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Next one. Next one. So we're gonna do the groups now. The 7 groups. We're gonna do 5 stitches inside and not 7. Okay. 2, 4, 5. 2 separation. Hold on a minute. I better check my. Okay. So we have the 5. We're gonna do 1 separation, which I already had one there. 1. And we are gonna go 1 in here like that, and 1 separation again, and we're gonna go into the next one. So the groups of 7 will be like this. Okay. 5. And then 1 separation, and then into this one here. Okay, so we'll do the 7 groups in the corner like that. Okay, everybody, so I decided to change color. I'm gonna keep this purple for the upper level. So putting pink, and instead of putting over, I went inside. So 5, 1 separation, put 1 inside, and do your 5 again. Sorry about that, but these things happen as I'm doing it, and if I don't like it, well, you know how it is. Then I pretty much change the game up. So it doesn't change nothing, it's just putting a stitch in there and changing my color. I could have kept that one, but I think my client will like this better. So I find it nicer, and she trusts my opinion. So why not? Okay, so we'll do it that way, like that. So now we've reached the single one. We're going to continue on doing the same stitch again. Whoops, what am I doing here? 1 separation on top of it, and then inside, and then inside. So we're doing the groups of 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so we have the 4 now. 1, 2, we're gonna 1, 2, 3, and continue the stitch. Oops. Now, you see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're gonna cut down, so we're gonna do 1, 2, and 3. So we're gonna do the stitch until here, just like here. Okay. And we went over. Okay. So over here, we're cutting down groups. One, two, and we do our groups. It's going to be 3 groups of 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, and again. So we're going to have only 3. 1, 2, go right on top of the other one. And then we do our stitch. Okay, so continue your stitch. Okay, so we have the 3, we continue our stitch, and we continue on, because we're cutting down the groups, right? So nothing to it, very simple. 1, 2, and do the groups again. Okay, so now you're going to do 1, 2 to have your 3 groups, and then we're going to do the stitches. We're going to do the stitches from here on, just like here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Continue on. Continue your stitch until here. Okay, so go until here. Okay, so we've done the 3 stitch, and now 1, 2, and we have to do our groups of 4, 3 groups of 4, because we're at the end. So we have to do the end exactly as we did at the beginning. All you have to do is look in your pattern how it was done at the beginning and just copy. And it's done the same way on all, both sides, the 4 corners. Okay, so now we are We did our 3 groups, 1 separation, skip. We're going into the groups of 7. We're going to do our 5 stitch. And we're going to repeat the 7 groups here the same way as we did on the other side. 1 stitch separation and 1 single. 1 stitch separation, go into the second one. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing like we did here. And we are going to repeat everything the same way as we did here. We're going to repeat it on this side. All you have to do is look, keep it down, and just copy the same way all the way around until here. Okay, everybody, so we did the 7 groups, and now we are doing the 4 groups. We're going to do the same thing on this side all the way through this side. I'll meet you at the end over here. So all you have to do is copy this side into this side.